Welcome to another instructional video for Coca-Cola Refreshments merchandising fixtures. In this version, we will walk you through the installation of the Z-Rack merchandiser. Please refer to this video as a reference tool and user guide to assist in the assembly. We recommend you exercise caution when working with tools during the assembly as well. Before we begin, the pace which you will witness is slow to moderate for the first-time builder's comprehension. You will find that your speed will increase with the frequency of the builds. We do not endorse nor supply power tools. However, if you desire to utilize power tools, please use them only for the final tightening phase, as keeping everything loose assists with the assembly. Let's begin. Once you've cut the packing tape, please remove the lid. Place it beside the box, as we're going to use this for a staging area as we empty the box. You notice as you pull pieces out, they're clearly marked, shelf number 2. The base unit is easily identifiable as it has casters in the rear. Please lock the casters as it makes it easier to assemble the shelf. Place the base unit on the ground and continue to pull parts out of the box. You'll notice this is the top shelf, clearly indicated by top, but it also has a backsplash. This is followed by shelf number 3, once again indicated by the number 3. Please remove the empty packaging and then retain the hardware package. Please open and empty the hardware package onto the base unit. Within the package, you'll notice that there are 2 bolts, one for the bottom and one for the sides, and then a graphic sign bolt. Please remove one of the vertical uprights, placing the graphics on the outside. By using the longer bolts, please insert the longer bolt into one of the holes and then thread it into the base unit. Please do not over-tighten these screws, as we need to keep the unit loose during the assembly process. Taking the other side and leaving the graphic on the outside, insert the longer screw in through the hole and once again screw it into the base unit. Now that all screws are in and the sides are loose, please take the top shelf from the package and place the top shelf in between the 2 verticals at the top. Insert one of the shorter screws through the hole and then thread it into the angle bracket. Repeat the procedure on the other side, short screw into the threaded angle bracket. As I mentioned, at this point in time, please do not over-tighten the screws. Keep the assembly loose. Remove shelf number 2. Place it between the verticals. And the best way to mount the shelf is to look through the hole in the side vertical and see the threaded L bracket. And then once the holes are aligned, then insert the screw and tighten. Repeat the process for the remaining 3 screws. The final shelf, shelf number 3, also inserts between the 2 verticals. And once again, it's easier to look through the hole in the side, line up the threaded screw on the angle bracket, and then insert the bolt. Repeat the process for the other side. The next step now is to identify the longer bolts, as you're going to place the back support as indicated by the top and the 4 holes at the bottom, using the longer screws in the bottom plate. As mentioned, only use the long screws on the base plate. All other screws for the top shelf are the shorter screws. You may find that putting the bolt onto the Allen wrench makes it easier to thread the screws in. With the final 2 screws in, you can now start tightening the entire assembly. By switching to the shorter side of the Allen wrench, you're now able to add leverage to tighten the screws. At this point in time, if you'd like to use a power tool to complete the tightening process, please ensure that you do not over-tighten the screws or split the wood. Continue to tighten all of the screws. As you've noticed, the sequence doesn't matter as long as all the screws end up being tightened. Now gather the remaining display screws. You can move the display back, release the casters, and now remove the graphics from the packaging. Within the packaging, you'll find the rear display and then the shelf displays. By taking the back graphic, you can now insert one of the display screws identified earlier through the hole and then screw that into the back of the display. Now take the shelf graphics and slide each of the shelf graphics into each of the 4 shelves. You've now completed your Z-Rack display. Please ensure one last time all bolts and hardware are tightly fastened before walking away, and please make sure no debris was left behind. We thank you for taking this time to learn how to build and assemble another fine fixture for Coca-Cola Refreshments, and see you again soon. Have a good day.